Right there, about that size is good. All right, so I have my chicken spread out over here. My hands are clean. We're gonna do salt and pepper, both sides, and we're gonna dredge the chicken. You don't have to do this. I do this to make my videos, but honestly, I gotta tell you, after just doing this for videos, it's way easier than having all this set up when you're trying to fry and everything, especially if you're near a stove where you don't have as much room as I do here. I recommend just doing this. It works especially well when you're doing like chicken cutlets, fried chicken cutlets, when you're doing flour, egg, and breadcrumb, because then if you don't do that, then you have 3 of those big dishes out. You're making a big mess as you're trying to fry. You do it all, you put it on this parchment paper, the breading, anything, flour will not come off. So I'm gonna put salt and pepper on both sides here. The chicken's very bland, so you always wanna put salt and pepper on it. This is the same process that you do for like marsala, piccata, franchise. A lot of them are very similar. Well, I got a clean hand and I'm gonna use, this is gonna become my dirty hand. So what that means is I'm gonna be able to do all my chicken flipping with this hand and then I don't have to keep going back to the sink. Okay, same thing, salt and pepper on the other side. All right, so pat it in there and here's my flour. We're gonna do a dredge. Now you can get both hands dirty, it doesn't matter at this point. All right, taking the chicken in the flour, and I'm gonna shake off the excess like this. That's all I want. Lay it right on the parchment paper. Just do them all. And then after you're done here, then you can clean up everything and make it easier to fry these up. So here is the chicken and it's all dusted and ready to go. This just makes it a heck of a lot easier. So I have 1 pound of mushrooms here. You're gonna have to do a once over on these to make sure you get rid of the dirt. You should always do that with mushrooms. These are very firm. These are good fresh mushrooms. And this is slightly damp. And I'm just gonna knock off all the dirt like that. See, that's like a big piece of dirt right there. See that? Just knock it off. This part will get hard. So you always wanna remove it, meaning just like that. Just the absolute end of it. That's all you have to do. And now you have a fresh cut end now, so when you slice them, they'll be fine. Okay, and then we're just gonna do a slice. Like 1/8 to 1/4 inch, doesn't matter. It's 1 pound of mushrooms. Gonna take some garlic, take as much as you want or as little as you want. I'm gonna use about 4 or 5 cloves here. And I'm just taking the back of my knife and then I'm putting it on the garlic and I'm hitting it 1 time or 2 times and the skin will pop right off. I don't buy the jarred garlic. I don't recommend it. It's like in vinegar, I believe, or something, or citric acid. It really changes the flavor of it. And this is easy. You only need 5 cloves here. All right, take the garlic and put it off to the side. This is spinach, baby spinach. I bought it in a big container. I took about 3 cups worth out. And then the other ingredient I use a lot is this chicken base. So here it is. And that like gives you kind of like a chicken stock really easily. You just mix it up. You could also use box stock. And then finally, if you have your own chicken stock, that's the best thing. But most of the time you don't have that on hand. And and if you do, you run out. So this is always really good to have. All right, I have the really big cast iron. This is an 18-inch. Just want to get this done fast. It'll probably still take 2 batches, but use the biggest pan you have. Cast iron takes a while to heat up. Once it does heat up, you don't have to keep the heat very high. It'll just maintain its temperature. You'll be able to sear the chicken away. Okay, when you put it in, put it away from you so you don't splash your eyes or whatnot. Don't overcrowd it even with a big pan. You'll do 2 batches, 3 batches, just do whatever it takes. Let it go for a few minutes until it kind of will naturally release. You want to get some decent color on here, but do the best you can. And after about 3 minutes per side, probably 6 to 8 minutes total, put them in a clean plate. And then we'll do the mushrooms, we'll make a sauce, and then we're gonna put the chicken back in and let it keep cooking. If you think you need a little bit more oil, just add more oil. I think I do need more oil. You can kind of touch them. They're kind of hard. That means these are cooked. Even if they don't have the color, take them out. Because you're gonna overcook them then. They're chicken breasts. They're not chicken thighs. Okay, so there's one batch. And I'm gonna do the second batch and then we'll be good. Okay, so we're almost done with the chicken. I'd say most of them are close to cooked, maybe a couple are 80% cooked, but that doesn't matter because we're gonna finish it in the sauce. All the mushrooms, just get them right in there. We're gonna put a little bit of olive oil in here. Mushrooms are gonna drink up the olive oil, then they're gonna release their water into the pan. And then once they release their water, then you can start browning them and you can salt them, pepper, whatever you wanna do. These are baby bellas I use, but you can use white button mushrooms, and if you have access to better mushrooms, definitely use them. So a lot of water has released from the mushrooms. You can see it in the pan now. A lot of wetness coming into the pan. So I turn the heat up probably to medium high now. I'm gonna let all this water evaporate. So they're getting a little brown now. And that's good. Don't need to spend all day doing this. I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper on them. Okay, then I'm gonna add some white wine. If you're watching a lot of my videos, you know that you can see the progression. The bottle started here and it went all the way down to here. I think it went chicken faldestana, then it was the chicken with fennel and tomatoes. Keep your head away from it when you put it in. Take a wooden spoon and just kind of scrape the bottom. You're gonna remove some of the chicken, the bits from the chicken, from the mushrooms. You're gonna release some of the flavor. Turn the heat to basically medium high. So here's that chicken stock, the chicken base, 1 cup of it. Bring this up to a boil. And you know what's funny? I forgot to put the garlic in here. And I'm just gonna tell you flat out right now. You're supposed to put the garlic in before you put the wine and the chicken stock in. But you know what? I'm just gonna saute that garlic for 1 minute in a little bit of olive oil and add it right in. And you can do that too if that happens to you, but I'm just being honest with you, it happened. I see it right here. See? There's the garlic. So, but it's okay. It'll be fine. I'm gonna do that right now. And I'm just gonna throw this right back in there. You make mistakes sometimes. Okay, we're resuming and here's the garlic. That took a minute or two to fix that situation. Put it right in. See how it's kind of loose right here, but we want to make the sauce a little thicker. This is cornstarch. I have about 2 tablespoons in here with about 2 ounces of water. I'm gonna use half of it to start. Oh, maybe I used a little bit more. It'll be fine. Because what's going to happen is no matter how thick in this gets, we're gonna put all that spinach in and it's going to release a lot of water. Put the chicken in first, then put all the spinach in. Turn the heat down to about medium low. And if you can, cover this. I don't have a cover for it. I'm gonna put foil on top of it. Give it 5 minutes, check it, stir it around. Spinach will be wilted, it all should be good. All right, so it's been about 5-7 minutes, pull it off. Now the spinach is completely wilted, which is what we want. And we have a nice, pretty thick sauce. Now that's from the cornstarch, helping out. That's pretty good. I'm gonna turn off the heat. So that right here That's a good thickness. Now you can serve this with rice or whatever. Before you do anything, after you pull the foil off, or your cover, if you have a cover large enough, you need to make sure this tastes good, because it looks really good, but it might not taste good. You've added a lot of liquid in here. You might not have seasoned it enough. It's good, but it needs a little bit more salt. And you need to be critical of your cooking. You need to be able to say, you know what, it's not good, I'm gonna do that. Kind of thought it would need more salt because I added 3 or 4 cups of spinach, plain, bland spinach to here with its water. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Yes, phenomenal. All right, well, you wanna try this? Yeah, and then we'll see if it's good or not. The one thing I forgot too is the butter. Adding about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter, and you can just mix it in on very low heat, or even with the heat off, and just kind of just stir it in there. And this will just add a lot of richness to the sauce, which is exactly what you want. This is one that I haven't made before. I never made this before, right?
Nope.
But it's just like, you can throw together any ingredients and you can kind of come up with a new dish. Now, I'm sure if I Google this, there's probably gonna be 100 recipes that have the exact same ingredients. But we'll let her try it and see if she likes it. The kids aren't here tonight, they're gone. We gave them away. No, they're both sleeping out, which is great.
Let's see. Spinach.
And just be honest. Do not tell me it's good if it's not good.
No, it's good. It's
What
really good.
what does it need though?
Maybe a little more wine.
And I take those things really, really seriously. I'm going to then adjust this recipe before I put it out here for you guys. That's what I do. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.